less than ideal licence fee settlement, you're having a laugh. Hi, it's me again, and you find me today in the hills above, I guess I'm above Mijas and Fuengirola. Thought I'd go for a little drive, take my uncle's Ford Focus fanny magnet out for a run in the hills, because all it ever did with him was go to the supermarket or the pub. But yeah, I've still got some stories that I'm trying to get through, so excuse the picturesque background. But I want to try and get through some of these things I've got bookmarked to talk about. And today's one, I'm just going to walk back down this rocky embankment without killing myself, and I'll be back with the headline. Hold on. It's not the worst view though, is it? Absolute weapon of a car. It's got all its ITV certificates, I'll show you in a minute, stuck to the windscreen still like a badge of honour because it actually bloody passed every year. So the headline I got for you: Tim Davie to set out future direction of the BBC in all-staff speech later this month. I know if you're a regular viewer of this channel, you'll know I think that, I take them off because everyone says I look like Suggs when I wear them, you'll know that I think Tim Davie's in over his head a bit. But is he? I mean, it's got to be a completely unmanageable organisation, the BBC, hasn't it? So what is he going to say in this all-staff speech? The future direction of the BBC and its role for the UK will be set out in an all-staff speech from Director General in a fortnight, at which he will address a new wave of technological change, reshaping the media landscape. Oh, motorbike man over there is on his way out. Technological change reshaping the media landscape. I suppose if you put that through Google Translate, it will say no one's watching broadcast telly anymore. They're fed up with it. People want to watch whatever they want to watch, whenever they want to watch it. And the best way to do that is by streaming. Who's watching broadcast TV anymore? They know it. They know it. A new wave of technological change is reshaping the media landscape and bringing fresh challenges for us all, to our democracy, to our creative economy and to society. Davie had unveiled a blueprint for a digitally led public service broadcaster. That's what he wants to do. He said this before. He wants to have everything digital. That's why he's making such changes and things to local radio. Have a look at the ITV certificates. He wants local radio to be digital only on the Sounds app. Yeah, she's a pretty girl, isn't she? It's a nice road, this. Look at that down there. Curves around nice and goes up. Anyway, I digress again. I get distracted by the scenery quite easily. He's been wanting to move the BBC to mostly digital for a long time, because that is where the future of all television is, isn't it? Who's going to be watching broadcast TV in 10 years? Who? It's not realistic, is it? So how can the BBC still justify charging a licence fee when they go digital only and everyone else in that entire space is subscription or advertising led? Insiders speculated that more cuts or restructures may be coming, with one saying they anticipate more digital first reshuffling. Although the speech will be broad, we understand, and look at the BBC's role as a public broadcaster in the changing world. There is no role anymore for a public broadcaster. It's not necessary. If the government need to put out their information and their propaganda, they can do it themselves now on the internet, right? Why do they need a public service broadcaster to spread their lies and propaganda all around the world? I suppose because it works, I guess, doesn't it? I mean, every country really that likes to spread propaganda has a public service broadcaster, don't they? The BBC has been struggling financially following a less than ideal licence fee settlement. You're having a laugh. 3.7 billion quid a year they get, and that's going up. How is that less than ideal? It's less than ideal for us, but you can run a... There are countries, I know I say it a lot, but if you have a look at the list of GDP for countries, there are countries that operate on a lower GDP than the BBC get, and they build hospitals, roads, infrastructure, schools, all of those things. Anyway, that has left the corporation with a £90 million funding shortfall. Well, they've done well then, because last year it was a £300 million funding shortfall. So it's going better for them. Good for them. They're finally making some cuts that are working. The news teams have been hit particularly hard with the likes of Newsnight pared back, while TV commissioners have been leaning to fewer, bigger, better model. Yeah, they changed news a lot. They changed the news channel as well. Doesn't seem to mention that in here. They changed the news channel so they could be commercial in other markets. Funny it doesn't mention that in here. A fewer, bigger, better model. BBC shows. Fewer, bigger. Write your own joke for that one. In today's email, Davie thanks staff for delivering some outstanding content across the BBC. I mean, yeah, credit where it's due. Some BBC stuff's all right, isn't it? But I haven't watched any of it for ages. The note came 10 days after new BBC chair Samir Shah used his first staff memo to say, tough choices and hard decisions are to come. He's quite the BBC fan, is this Samir Shah. I did a video on him. But he does seem perfectly qualified. Oops. He does seem perfectly qualified for that job. He's worked in television a long time. He's worked for commercial television and he's worked for the BBC. So he is qualified for that position. Is Tim Davie? Has always been my question. 3.7 billion quid a year. It's soon to be a bit more. And there's still a funding shortfall. How does that make any sense at all? How does that make any sense? You give me 3.7 billion quid a year to run a media organisation, and I'll run you a bloody media organisation. You know, I know in the grand scheme of things, like when you look at Netflix's budget, yeah, it's more than 3.7 billion quid. Of course it is. But I'm sorry, it's a public service broadcaster. They're not scared of showing ads. Let's not forget here that they own, well, BBC Studios owns UK TV. Owns it outright. They, what was it they bought the other day? Oh yeah, they 100% own the full international share of BritBox, which charges subscriptions, and will probably do adverts soon to catch up with all the other streaming services that now offer an advertising discount. Like Netflix are doing it, my Discovery Plus does it. It's $3.99 a month, but I get some ads. It's all right, $3.99 a month's cheap, isn't it? That's where his digital-led first thing is going. But if they do go fully digital to BBC, which they will have to in the future, because that is the future of TV, I don't know how long they'll be, but they will have to do it, won't they? How long can they keep the licence fee if they're just being a streaming service and not charge subscription or show ads like their competitors? That is the question, isn't it? Nice down here though, isn't it? If I go up a bit, you might be able to see over. So I can't really see because of the light, how much you can see over the cliff there. But dead ahead would be Fuengirola, I guess. To the left of us on the other side of the mountainy bit, you can't really see it over there, would be Mijas, but we're above Mijas, you know, the famous white village with the donkeys and everything. Yeah, not my idea of a good time, that, I must say. Every mountain road I've been on all the famous ones in Switzerland and Italy and that, there's always cyclists. Can't think of anything worse, give me a nice car. So yeah, down there, leftish would be Fuengirola, and then rightish, probably if there weren't stuff in the way, you'd be able to see La Cala de Mijas, which is like Little Essex. You won't find any Spanish speakers in La Cala de Mijas. And then right even more would be Marbella. But you see how high up we are. It's nice, isn't it? Right, I'll leave it there for today, I think, because I need to get on the motorway and head towards Malaga. My bit of fun for the day's over. I've got to go to Malaga, go to the hospital and see my uncle and tell him that I definitely haven't been, and I promise I haven't been, abusing his car up in the hills. He won't care. He won't care. He never uses the bloody thing anyway. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts on all this down in the comments below. Next week, I'll be back home, coming back on the weekend. Shift change, got someone else coming out to take my place. That'd be good. Get back home, make some videos back in Malden or on my green screen, can't I? And stop showing you the sunshine. out here. Anyway, hit all the buttons, do all that stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da.